Operators adopt telco-grade AI to automate operations, tackling complexity for over 1,000 connected environments as network expand to the edge. To expound on this is Kuram Shazad of Gartner. Kuram, let's begin with the setbacks. What are the biggest operational challenges introduced by distributed core and edge architectures?
Hi, Sas. Thank you for having me. When we talk about distributed deployments for 5G and edge computing spanning thousands of heterogeneous sites, the biggest operation challenge comes from the operational approach of the past, which was the manual operation, becomes economically unsustainable. And there are three core reasons for that. First is that there is explosive topological complexity and loss of visibility with micro data centers, edge nodes, and virtualized or containerized network functions. Second is the sheer volume of telemetry or root cause ambiguity data, where manual correlation just does not work. And the third is complexity of multi-vendor or multi-cloud operational friction, which is a reality for a lot of telcos. So the takeaway is that you cannot run a distributed 5G network using centralized manual operational workflows of the past. What you need is AI-based closed loop control and automation systems.
Now that you've mentioned AI, can you help us understand this? How exactly does telco grade AI differ from traditional AI used in network management?
Absolutely. There is a common misconception that telco-grade AI is a traditional AI deployed at telecom scale, which is not true. It is fundamentally different operating model because of five important distinctions. So for a telco-grade AI, you need mission-critical reliability and carrier-grade SLAs, which are required for autonomous decision-making without any hallucination risks. And the second is a real-time closed-loop automation for detecting faults, analyzing root cause, and implementing corrective actions with minimal human involvement. Third is telco-specific language models that are fine-tuned for telecom domain knowledge, which are not available for general-purpose LLMs. Then you need explainability, as well as there are going to be regulatory and governance requirements where you need auditability of the autonomous decisions made by AI. And then the last one is just the massive scale across distributed heterogeneous infrastructure with thousands of distributed sites where you have multiple vendors, heterogeneous hardware, software ecosystems, and a massive data diversity. In summary, traditional AI, we can say, analyzes data to help humans make decisions, whereas telco-grade AI acts directly on high-speed, mission-critical infrastructure with the domain intelligence, deterministic safety, and also the allowance for the national regulations and data sovereignty.
But scaling usually lead to risks. So are there specific key risks of deploying AI in live telecom networks at scale that we should know of?
There are several actually, but it is not a technology problem per se. It is a systems problem, which spans across infrastructure, governance, organizational readiness, and regulatory compliance. I will talk about the five most critical risks. Number one is AI hallucinations and unreliable autonomous decisions that can result in network configuration errors or false root cause diagnosis. Then a lot of CSPs or telcos still have legacy data architecture, which are incompatible with AI, or they provide poor data foundations that will result in poor decisions. Then the third one is organizational fragmentation, skills shortage, and resistance to AI adoption in a lot of telcos that we are seeing because it may result in loss of jobs. Then the fourth one is expanded security attack surface, because when you use AI, you also have to protect against prompt injection, data poisoning, and rogue AI agents, which become additional threats to your operations. And the last one is around regulatory and compliance uncertainty, because the regulations are still evolving and there is no clear telecom-specific AI governance framework as such. So CSPs may face explainability mandates, data residency and sovereignty requirements, and also intellectual property uncertainty that who is going to own the overall stack and the information within.
Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts, Karam. Hope you can join us again soon.
Thank you for having me.
Once again, that was Karam Shazad, Senior Director Analyst at Gartner. For more news, visit asiantelecom.com.